Hi, this is Brian.
Jason.
And this is the Perfectly Screwed podcast. If you have not listened to episode 108, 109, or 110, please go back to 108. This is part 4 and the finale of The Son of Sam. How many did we do on Bundy? It was like 6, wasn't it? That was a lot. Like, Bundy was a lot.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if we did that many.
I think we did. Bundy was
6?
a lot. I think it was. It was definitely 4.
This is one of the longest ones, but this dude's just fucking psycho.
I know. And really, there's not that many victims, so it's just...
Yeah.
I mean, I had to take time to read this crazy-ass letters he keeps sending folks.
Yeah. He's fucking... Man, he's out there.
Yeah.
For real.
So, we were talking about how they gave Fellatio...
Yeah. Yeah, we were.
The task of trying to find the last murder victim's killer. So, that was in July. And then, so August 9th, a local resident, Casilia Davis, was walking her dog at the scene of the Moskowitz Valentina shooting when she saw patrol officer Michael Catino ticketing a car that was parked near a fire hydrant. See, it's always these weird things that get him caught, too. Like Bundy got caught because he was changing his fucking tire.
You get comfortable.
Right.
And,
Berkowitz gets caught because he's parked in front of a fucking fire hydrant.
Yep, you do. You get comfortable, you take for granted what you're doing, and just all of a sudden
Yeah.
But the other thing is, dude, like, the cops aren't going to fucking catch anybody any way else, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to actually go out and
do police work.
Good fucking detective work and track this dude down.
That would be silly.
I mean, goddamn, dude. Like, think about it. We've covered people where they tried to bring in psychics. Like, these motherfuckers just told a reporter can we just urge him to just turn himself in? I mean, my God, we've had enough.
Yeah, that's just bullshit.
I mean, because clearly, whoever's writing these letters is the mind of a man that will just willingly turn himself over.
Clearly. I mean, he didn't write you a letter saying the only way you'll catch me is if you shoot me dead, but I'm sure.
I wonder if he ever bought him shoes.
Don't know. But anyways, so she saw a patrol officer ticketing a car. A few moments after the traffic police had left, just a few moments, mind you, a young man walked past her from the area of the car and seemed to study her with some interest. Davis then felt concerned because he was holding a dark object in his hand. She ran to her home quickly, only to hear shots fired behind her hitting the street. Davis was scared and then remained silent about the experience for 4 days until she finally contacted police. They closely checked every car that had been ticketed in that area that night. Berkowitz's yellow 1974 Galaxy was among the cars that they investigated. So on August 9th, 1977, Detective James Justice this case has some great names. James Justice.
John Fellatio.
John Fellatio is justice is
served. Absolutely.
It's like the Bandit movies, dude. Buford T. Justice. You don't be cussing on us here, radio. Anyways, so Justice telephoned the Yonkers Police Department to ask them to schedule an interview with Berkowitz. Okay, so the dispatcher who took the call from Justice was Wheat Carr, the daughter of Sam Carr. That's the guy who lived across the street.
Okay.
That's coincidental. His daughter took the call about the Son of Sam.
Right.
And she was sisters. She was the sister of his Berkowitz's alleged cult confederates, John and Michael Carr. And John and Michael Carr were the actual sons of Sam. they were Sam's actual sons, and they were best friends with David Berkowitz.
Okay.
So she knew Berkowitz quite well.
Right.
Because he had been over to their house talking to the dog.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Yes, of course. As soon as Justice mentioned the name David Berkowitz to Wheat, she said, "Let me tell you about him. I know him." Yeah, of course she does. "He lives right behind me." She also informed Justice that Berkowitz had shot and wounded their black Labrador retriever named Harvey, and that Harvey was her father Sam's dog. When Justice heard Sam, he had a very good feeling that Berkowitz was the real culprit they've been looking for. Really? Really? Yeah. He shot the dog. Her dad's name's Sam. They're all friends, but...
He shot the dog that it was talking
Yeah,
to?
that was talking to him. Probably trying to get him to shut the fuck up.
Right.
Would you stop telling me to kill people, you son of a bitch? I swear to God.
I'll just kill this motherfucker.
Yeah. That'll end it all.
Right.
So... It just amazes me that she said Sam and a dog, and he shot the dog, and yeah, no, Berkowitz are friends with my brother, blah, 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 and then he goes, Sam? Oh, woo, way to put two and two together there, Justice. Yeah. Ding! Yeah. I mean, really, how hard is it to put that together, Jack? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, well, unfortunately, that's about the damn finest police work we've come across, though.
Them and the fucking traffic cop, it wasn't for them two. Shit.
Yeah.
They lost.
No shit.
The fucking task force had no idea what was going on.
This dude would still be shooting motherfuckers
This dude, Justice, and fucking the traffic cops, the one that caught him, got a whole task force after this motherfucker and some random detective in a traffic.
Well, in defense of the task force, it's hard to get work done when you're watching Wicker Man.
Yeah, and talking to DC Comics.
Yeah.
So Justice asked Yonkers police for some help tracking down Berkowitz. The department had their own suspicions about Berkowitz. Oh, sure they did. Yeah. In connection with strange crimes in their jurisdiction, which were referred to in one of the Son of Sam letters. Yonkers then told Justice, "You know, you might be right. Berkowitz probably is the son of Sam."
I'll be damned.
I'll be damned.
I'll be damned.
So
you think he can be the one? Oh, shit.
And this is our finest in New York City at the time.
Oh, hell yeah.
Woo. Them in Boston should have got together. They'd had a hell of a fucking police squad there.
Just taking care of business.
So the following day, on August 10th, police investigated Berkowitz's car, which was parked outside his apartment building at 35 Pine Street. They saw a gun in the back seat, searched the car and found a duffel bag filled with ammunition, maps of the crime scenes, and a threatening letter addressed to Inspector Timothy Dowd of the Son of Sam Task Force.
Oh, shit.
Well, they had it pre-made there. I mean, he laid all the evidence right in the back seat. There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. Guys. Got a bag of 44 caliber ammunition. Got the bulldog right here on the
next
seat.
letter?
Yeah. Got the next letter written. Got the fucking map with all the crime scenes marked off. Shit. They couldn't have got it any better if he'd had pictures on the back seat of all the victims.
All the evidence just laid out.
Right there on the back seat.
Like fucking clothes in the morning.
Yeah, here you go. Thanks, guys. First of all, what kind of jackass... This is why I wonder about his ignorance. What kind of jackass is killing two people and decides it's a good idea to park in front of a fire hydrant? Now, given it is New York.
Yeah.
So I understand it's hard to find a parking spot. But... you think, first of all, if you were on the prowl to kill two individuals,
right,
that in front of a fire hydrant would be the last place you would want to park. That's like parking in a handicap zone to go kill two people.
It's like, it's like driving. It's like not wearing your seatbelt or speeding when you know you have drugs in the car. Right. It's stupid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're just fucking asking.
And then the second thing is, you know they're looking for you.
Right.
You obviously saw the parking ticket. Okay. So you think it's a good idea to lay all the evidence
Just
on the backseat of the car in plain view of anybody walking by?
right.
Right.
I mean, put it in your trunk, bro.
In the apartment. Something.
Anywhere.
Something
Out
other.
of the view of the public.
Yeah. Yeah, just strewn on the back seat, neatly placed. Right there where anybody walking by could just look down and go, look, a 44 caliber handgun.
That's crazy.
Oh, okay. So, police waited outside of Berkowitz's apartment because they wanted to wait for him to leave instead of risking a violent confrontation in the building's narrow hallways. They also wanted to wait to obtain a search warrant for the apartment. The initial search of the vehicle was based on the handgun that was visible in the back seat. Although possession of such a gun was legal in New York and required no special permit, the warrant still had not arrived when Berkowitz exited the apartment building at 10 p.m. and entered his car. John Falacio then approached. He approached the driver's side of the car and pointed his gun close to Berkowitz's temple. He said, "Now, boy, get on your knees."
No shit. Suck this big dick.
Then Detective William Gardella pointed his gun from the other side. A paper bag containing the .44 caliber Bulldog revolver of the type that was identified in ballistics tests was found next to Berkowitz on the seat next to him in the car. Okay, so he had another gun in the back, and he brought the .44 caliber down with him and just laid it on the passenger seat. Because, that's what we do.
Right.
Berkowitz then looked at both the detectives and stated flatly, "Well, you finally got me."
Did he really?
Yeah. He had a big smile on his face. The detective, Falacio, said, "Now that I've got you, who have I got?" Berkowitz said, "You know," in a soft and very sweet, melodic, sing-songy tone. So he's smiling at the cops and said, "You got me." And then the detective said, "Who have I got?" And he goes, "Oh, you know."
Oh, you know.
You know, Falacio, who you got, baby. You got Big Berkowitz. You got the behemoth, baby.
You got Big Davy.
Yeah, you got the behemoth. You think you can handle the behemoth?
Yes, I can.
So Falacio said, "No, I don't know. You tell me." This is turning into a porno right here.
Oh, absolutely.
So Berkowitz turned his head and in another sing-songy voice said, "I am Sam."
God damn, what a psycho.
Falacio said, "You're Sam? Sam who?" He said, "I'm Sam, David Berkowitz."
Wow.
The other detective, though, said that actually the first words were actually, "Well, you got me. How come it took you jackasses so long?" So Falacio was credited for arresting the son of Sam. Police searched Berkowitz's apartment and found it in disarray with a lot of satanic graffiti on the wall. They also found diaries that he kept since he was 21. 3 notebooks, nearly all full, wherein Berkowitz meticulously noted hundreds of arsons that he had set throughout New York. In the book, it is said that the number was over 1,400.
What was?
Arsons.
Oh, wow.
He had set over 1,400 fires.
Yeah, that's that right there. That's fucking nuts right there.
Soon after Berkowitz's arrest, the address of the apartment building was changed from 35 Pine Street to 42 Pine Street in an attempt to end its notoriety. He was briefly held at the Yonkers police station before being transferred to Cody Island. Berkowitz was interrogated for about 30 minutes. He quickly confessed to the shootings and expressed an interest in pleading guilty. During questioning, Berkowitz claimed that his neighbor's dog was one of the reasons that he killed, stating that the dog demanded the blood of pretty young girls. He said that the Sam mentioned in the first letter was his former neighbor, Sam Carr, and that Harvey, Carr's black Labrador retriever, was possessed by an ancient demon, which issued irresistible commands that Berkowitz must kill and kill again. A few weeks after his capture, Berkowitz was permitted to communicate with the press. In the letter, he said that the dog was possessed and told him to kill. But then at the end he said, but there are other sons of Sam's out there. God help the world. Then at a press conference in 1979, Berkowitz declared that his previous claims of demonic possession was a hoax. He later said to a psychiatrist that he had long contemplated murder to get revenge on the world because he felt rejected by his mother and that she had hurt him, and that he killed these women to make sure that no other child was born into this world and rejected by their mothers.
Okay.
3 separate mental health examinations determined that Berkowitz was competent to stand trial. I don't know about that because
Yeah.
I've read the
No
letters.
shit.
Despite defense lawyers advising Berkowitz to enter a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity, he refused. He appeared calm in court as he pled guilty to all the shootings. At his sentencing 2 weeks later, Berkowitz caused an uproar when he attempted to jump out of a window of the 7th floor courtroom after he was restrained. He repeatedly chanted, "Stacy, his last victim, was a whore," and shouted, "I'd kill her again. I'd kill all them whores again." The court ordered another psychiatric examination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet.
Before sentencing could proceed, during the evaluation, Berkowitz drew a sketch of a jailed man surrounded by numerous walls. At the bottom he wrote, "I am not well. I am not well at all." But even after that, Berkowitz was found competent to stand trial. He was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison for each murder, to be served consecutively. He was ordered to serve his time in Attica Correctional Facility, maximum security prison in upstate New York. Despite prosecution's objections, the term Berkowitz guilty plea made him eligible for parole in 25 years. After his arrest, he was originally in the psychiatric ward, where staff reported that he seemed remarkably troubled by his new environment. He was taken to Clinton Correctional Facility for psychiatric and physical examinations. 2 months were spent at the New York Psychiatric Center before he went to Attica. He served a decade in Attica, and he was transferred in 1990 to Sullivan Correctional Facility in Fallisburg. In 1987, Berkowitz became an evangelical Christian in prison.
All right.
According to his personal testimony, his moment of conversion occurred after reading Psalms 34:6 from the Bible given him by a fellow inmate. He says he is no longer to be referred to as the son of Sam, but now the son of hope.
Yeah, he is. Damn right.
Oh, God. He released a book in 1998 entitled Son of Hope, The Prison Journals of David Berkowitz. He doesn't receive any money from the sales of his work, but he continues to write essays on faith and repentance on a website. Berkowitz stays involved with prison ministry and has become a pastor and counsels troubled inmates.
I wonder if he shows them the letters.
He's entitled to parole hearings every 2 years, but he has consistently refused to ask for release. He sometimes skips the hearings altogether. In 2002, he requested that his parole hearing be canceled. He wrote, "In all honesty, I believe that I deserve to be in prison for the rest of my life. I have, with God's help, long ago come to terms with my situation and I've accepted my punishment."
Well, that's growth.
Yeah. Okay, so the problem with all of this is like I said, there was 2 people in this. And there was an investigator, which was named Terry, who wrote a book about this and wrote many articles about this. Since Berkowitz was friends with John and Michael Carr, the two actual sons of Sam, who allegedly had the possessed dog, they were all known to hang around Ultimer Park, and Terry and Berkowitz shared a home in the town of Yonkers, New York. And they were all part of a cult that was a satanic cult, and they met in the Devil's Cave. They mutilated animal corpses and killed animals for ritual sacrifices. And this is all known that all 3 of these people did this.
Wow.
Park was very creepy, and John Carr had an uncanny resemblance to one of the eyewitness sketches. Terry grew increasingly convinced that the 3 were not only accomplices, but members of a larger satanic cult known as the Children, with ties to Charles Manson. Terry's suspicions were only heightened when both Carr's sons met untimely end shortly after Berkowitz's arrest and confession. Both of them died right after Berkowitz was arrested and confessed to this. John Carr died by a reported suicide as police knocked on his door in North Dakota in 1978. And then his brother, Michael Carr, was in a very suspicious car accident the following year.
Really?
Yes.
That's wild.
So, the one sketch looked like Michael Carr. The other one looked like John Carr.
Yeah.
They were all 3 in a known satanic cult with Berkowitz. They practiced animal mutilation and sacrifice at this Devil's Cave, and they were in a cult that was connected to Charles Manson.
Oh, wow.
And right after Berkowitz was arrested, they went to talk to John about the case and about Berkowitz and everything because his name came up. Supposedly, he shot himself. Then
That's pretty.
Michael dies in a very mysterious car accident.
Circumstantial, yes, but that's pretty hard evidence to me.
And and then a few days later, his brother dies in a very suspicious car accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, these dudes
He ran into a tree, actually. Head on.
probably suicide too.
Because they knew Berkowitz was arrested. They hadn't known he confessed yet.
So has Berkowitz ever came out and said that they were involved?
Berkowitz says it's just him.
Okay.
No, that's what Berkowitz says.
Yeah.
But that last letter he wrote did say there's more sons of Sam's out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Huh.
So, if they were all involved, Berkowitz basically felt like, they got me. So why throw 2 people under a bus?
That's
Right.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Right. And plus, you got to remember, the first letter they got was completely different in handwriting and style than the one written to the press.
Yeah.
Completely different. So it's almost like two people were writing it.
Well, and a lot of those letters, dude, it sounds like he's talking back and forth to somebody.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That's not the cops.
Yeah, it's almost like if he wasn't talking to himself, he's talking to
Who's he
somebody else.
talking to? Right.
Plus, he said, Father Sam beats his sons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. That he keeps them in an attic,
Right. Tied to the backyard.
tied to the backyard.
Yeah.
But Sam wasn't his father,
Right.
so who's he talking about?
Yeah,
Or was
exactly.
the
That's a
first
good point.
letters written by these two brothers talking about what their father was doing to abuse them, and then the second letter written by Berkowitz?
Yeah, I mean, it does. I mean,
'Cause-
that makes sense that these dudes are all working in cahoots here.
You got to think, the second letter was more elegant, more poetic. And it's known that Berkowitz writes in that style from all the journals they found and the fact that he's an accomplished writer from prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the second letter sounds more like what a writer would write, whereas the first letter sounds like a psychopath.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's wild, man.
Yeah. But since we'll never know the actual truth about that whole situation,
Yeah.
since the other two died very quickly after Berkowitz was arrested.
So is Berkowitz still alive?
Yes.
Really?
He's still in prison. He's very old, but yeah, he's still in prison. And like I said, he's refused parole every single time.
I wonder. I don't know.
He said he did.
I guess though seems a little strange if they were involved. Now that they're dead, why he wouldn't come out and say something? But
Oh,
maybe that's just a pact he's made between himself and God. You know, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna. Yeah.
Well, all you have to do is say, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I believe in
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And,
Those
of course.
8, 9 murders, they're wiped away.
That's
It's cool.
yeah,
He's going to
it's fine.
heaven, bud.
Absolutely, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Born again.
That's right. Don't matter if you murdered 8 or 9 people. Shit.
Shit.
Just say you're sorry, and I believe in Jesus, and
Away we go.
we're good to go. Berkowitz going to be chilling up there with Manson and Teddy. So, anyways,
So yeah,
that was our
4-parter.
4-parter on old Davy Berkey and the son of Sam and possibly his 2 accomplices who we'll never know because they're dead too. I wonder if he'll see both of them in heaven. I don't know. They committed suicide, probably not.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it just depends on what their dying words were.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, before the bullet went through his brain, if he just said, Jesus, I'm sorry, he's right there.
Yeah, I love you, Jesus.
Right, straight ticket to ride, baby. Okay, well, anyways. Wouldn't that be crazy? You get to heaven, dude. You go in the pearly gates. You're expecting angels and singing and whatnot. Nope. There's David Berkowitz, Ted Bundy, and Ed Kemper all sitting around killing folk and playing some chess.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. You don't know till you get there. What's up, boys?
Well, anyways, this was our last part on the Son of Sam. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you next time.
Later.